to represent, run for public office. Join Unite Africans as we celebrate the rights and freedoms that come with U.S. citizenship. Ready to take the first step in the naturalization process? More information. Contact us at 312-949-9980 or 773-420-8976 or visit us at www.uniteafricans.org. The Progressive Minds is supported by the United African Organization, presenting citizenship application assistance workshops to assist green card holders to become U.S. citizens. Becoming a citizen is easier than you think, and it protects you and your family. Your voice can be heard through your vote, and becoming a citizen allows you to do that. Ever want someone from your community to represent you? Become a citizen and run for public office. Join Unite Africans as we celebrate the rights and freedoms that come with U.S. citizenship. Ready to take the first step in the naturalization process? More information. Contact us at 312-949-9980 or 773-420-8976 or visit us at www.uniteafricans.org. The Progressive Minds is supported by the United African Organization, presenting citizenship application assistance workshops to assist green card holders to become U.S. citizens. Becoming a citizen is easier than you think, and it protects you and your family. Your voice can be heard through your vote, and becoming a citizen allows you to do that. Ever want someone from your community to represent you? Become a citizen and run for public office. Join Unite Africans as we celebrate the rights and freedoms that come with U.S. citizenship. Ready to take the first step in the naturalization process? More information. Contact us at 312-949-9980 or 773-420-8976 or visit us at www.uniteafricans.org.
Welcome back to the Progressive Mind Show. We have been away for a few days, or I'll say a few weeks, due to work schedules. And as you know, we are working hard towards our big event coming up June 24th. We will talk a little bit about it during the show. This is your number one community building platform. This is where we engage in conversations with folks in the community, talking about things that matter to the everyday people. And so I am privileged to have on our set this evening two beautiful ladies who are going to be talking about the organizations in the spirit or in the wake of Juneteenth. It's coming up quickly, and everybody is anticipation of it. But I think one question that I ask myself a lot of time is, are Africans very connected? Are African connected to Juneteenth? Do they feel that this is part of their culture and their history? And so I think this is something I have observed, and I don't think it's much much of a conversation in the African community, Juneteenth. But Chanel is here, so we'll probably touch bases on this particular issue, or not issue, but this particular thing concerning Juneteenth and the African community. That said, we will go to our guests this evening who are here. This is the Progressive Mind Show. We live on Facebook and YouTube, YouTube, and Twitter. And we encourage, once you come on, you can like the page. Actually, we'll want you to like the page and then share within your friends so we can help get the message of our lovely queens on this platform out. And so we will go straight to the guest. But before that, Chanel, we haven't been on the show for some time. You were sick. You felt ill for some time. Good to know and see that you were doing well. But I still have to ask you, how are you feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling a lot better. I don't know if I had allergies or if I just caught a bug. All I know is that it took me down, and I'm happy to be feeling better. But I am upset about this weather. Today is my birthday, and it's never this cold in June. This is crazy.
I know. I was asking myself the same question. It's June. Come on now, Chicago. We've been battling this cold forever. It's June. Let us be.
And it's raining too. It's cold and rainy.
Yeah, nobody wants that. So, well, good to know you're back, Chanel. What's your? I'll say something about Juneteenth and the African community. First of all, you think that Juneteenth is one of those holidays or those moments in the year that everybody gravitates towards or are in expectance compared to the other holidays?
Do I ask me again? You said, do you
think that people look forward to Juneteenth just like they do other holidays or the other holidays in the year in this country?
Well, I think it depends on the community. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't raised, and here in Chicago, maybe in other communities, people were celebrating Juneteenth. When I was a kid, Juneteenth was not something that was celebrated in school. It wasn't even something that was talked about. When I went away to college and had friends from other parts of the country, especially down south around Texas and Mississippi, New Orleans, those people were more aware of Juneteenth. But I think that in the last, decade or so, there's been a lot more information about Juneteenth. And of course, in 2020, because of the George Floyd riots, in large part, at least, Joe Biden, I'm sorry, not Joe. Was it Joe Biden? Who was that?
No, it was George Floyd. It was
George Floyd was Trump, right? Wasn't it?
Trump.
It was Biden who made it a federal holiday, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Okay.
2021. And so again, it feels like, why did this terrible thing have to happen? Why did another Black person have to die for Juneteenth to become this federal holiday? But I think that as the entire country has become more aware of it, people are celebrating it more. I do think that the Black community has to be very intentional in guarding the true reason for the celebration, because I think we're beginning to see, these companies that are trying to come in and take advantage of the money that they know is there from the celebration without really honoring the true reason behind the celebration itself. And we've seen, I saw that last year with some Juneteenth stuff. But yeah, I'm happy to see that people are becoming more aware of it. I'm really excited to talk to Tawana and Maya, because they are right in the forefront in making sure that people are celebrating and understand what this whole thing is about.
Great. Thank you so much. Again, just want to make sure that I'm reiterating this. You see Chanel's name there. You might not know if she's a guest or co-host. If you just look at her name, she's a co-host on the show. So just for people who were wondering, she has been a guest before. No, she has not been a guest yet. One day she probably will be a guest talking about her projects in Ghana and Africa. Tawana, you're welcome. Tawana Watts is the founder and executive director of BB's Arc. She first time on the show. Tawana does a lot of work in the African American community, especially on the West Side. Tawana, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm excited to be here. Yes, this is my first time, so I'm a little bit nervous, but yes, thank you. Hello, ladies. Happy birthday, Chanel. Sorry for the bad weather on your birthday, but you got all summers to still make it up.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. And then we have Maya Unique. She's also the founder and creative director of her own company. Tawana was the first lady we introduced. Maya Unique is the founder again and creative director of Back to Black Showcase. Thank you so much for joining us, Maya. And
hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were done. I'm sorry. But I thank you for having me. And again, happy birthday. And even though it's raining today, I heard on Thursday it's gonna be 84 degrees. So
okay, good. Okay, cool.
Before we talk about, ladies, before we talk about your ventures and what you do in the communities, we were, of course, you heard Chanel and I talk a little bit about Juneteenth. We're in the week and in the month of Juneteenth. And are you feeling the spirit? Are you feeling the energy? Are you guys feeling the energy in the air? Let me start with Maya.
I'm feeling the pressure.
Okay.
Because my showcase, I want everything to be perfect.
Uh-huh.
But I honestly do feel like I do feel the spirit of Juneteenth. I feel like everybody is getting excited. So many events happening.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I do feel the spirit of Juneteenth, and I feel like this year it actually is the I feel like not a lot of people were celebrating it how they are this year. So I'm actually excited for that.
Why do you think people are not celebrating this year like they did previous years?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess it's becoming a trend. But either way, I'm happy that it's being celebrated, and I'm happy that everybody is just,
I want to make sure I heard you correctly. Did you say a lot of people are celebrating it this year more than last year?
Yeah, I said more than last year. This year they're celebrating.
Okay, that was my bad. So thank you for correcting that. Okay, that's a beautiful thing.
Cindy, can I just ask a quick question? I'm just wondering, and if you guys know the answer, fine. I do have it up here, but I'm wondering, for people who don't know, what is Juneteenth about? Why is it cause for a celebration?
The abolishment of slavery. So for people that don't know, it's the abolishment of slavery. I believe it was just the law was just crossed on 2021. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong.
But, I know it made a federal holiday in 2021. Yeah. But I know that Juneteenth was 1867, and so just to be clear, this was in Texas, and people in Texas, the news had not come to them. Is that what happened? That slavery had ended. I just want people to know, because people are like, "What is this Juneteenth? What is it?" And so if you do know, then.
No, so for the benefit of those who may not know about it, if maybe you can elaborate a little bit, Chanel.
Okay, so from what I got here, it says even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it couldn't be implemented in places that was still under Confederate control. And so as a result, in the westernmost Confederate state of Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when about 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas, where the Army announced that the more than 250,000 enslaved, captured Black people in the state were free by executive decree. And the day came to be known as Juneteenth by newly freed people in Texas. And so from what I've heard, this state of Texas, which at one time wanted to be its own country, which is, from what I understand, why it was called a Lone Star State, wanted so much to maintain chattel slavery that Union soldiers actually had to come to enforce this law, this emancipation decree that other African enslaved and captured people had already received. And so Texas was holding on for as long as they could to captured and enslaved people, getting as much free labor as they could until they were forced to let them go. And then from what I also heard, African, people who were newly freed did not even want to celebrate publicly for fear of backlash from their white enslavers. And so a lot of times they would celebrate amongst themselves and not make a show of it. But as time has passed, this has become something that all Black people in the country and hopefully around the world are taking part in to celebrate Freedom Day.
Thank you for giving us, I'll say, a good understanding and a good read on what Juneteenth is for at least those who are now aware of, or those who don't have in-depth understanding. So that was very good. Thank you. We appreciate that. Would like to hear from Tawana, your perspective on Juneteenth and the expectation so far.
I think Chanel did a wonderful job at explaining, but yeah, that's my knowledge of Juneteenth, as well as that was the actual Freedom Day for our people, and that yes, that Texas was trying to hold on and hold out, and try to keep us enslaved. And so I'm actually excited about Juneteenth, and I'm actually to share that history with the youth that they don't know about. And it's not just a holiday. It is a very important holiday. And like this holiday, made the way for them to be able to walk in the grocery store and get whatever it is they want, be able to select whatever school they want to go to, whatever neighborhood that they want to live in. So to me, it's important to make sure that that information is shared in the community, and it's just not a barbecue day.
No, thank you for sharing and as you speak, go ahead, Chanel, you want to say something?
Thank you. You know, we are in a climate now where information is being suppressed, not so much here in the Midwest, but in other parts of the country. Children are not being taught the history that is American history, for fear that, for many different reasons. And I'm just wondering, in this climate, are you all at all concerned that this history and this celebration is going to be either hampered or contorted in a way that does not pay homage to the history that our ancestors went through?
Boom, you said it right there. They will try to so like right now, with it being such a big holiday, there is a lot of people that don't know about it. And so to me, they have already tried to take it and taint it into just like another let's see, what can I say? What's that holiday like in March? St. Patrick's Day? This is not a St. Patrick's Day. And so to me, they try to minimize the importance of the holiday and the importance of the celebration, especially in our community. But yeah, that's my thought on that.
Who do you think is trying to minimize it? Because the reason why I'm asking, I just want to play the other advocate. I don't like using the word devil's advocate. But if you said they're trying to minimize it, because the holiday is there. I mean, the atmosphere has been created. Anybody can celebrate as much as they want. St. Patrick's Day, people come out. They promote it, and perhaps you would say St. Patrick's Day has been in existence for a long time before Juneteenth, so maybe it has that momentum, right? And I'm not comparing the two. All I'm saying is that if you say they're trying to minimize it, what do you mean by that?
Marketing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So you're saying that Black people need to place so much emphasis on Juneteenth and putting a lot of resources in marketing it and talking about it, so it gets the same hype as the St. Patrick's and these other holidays. Is that essentially about right?
So basically, to me, it's my thought, in my opinion, that when it comes to Juneteenth, and it's talked about or celebrated about, it's the history of it is not being attached to it. And to me, if we're celebrating it, we need to know what we celebrate. Like it's Chanel's birthday, and she just walked in and she all dazzled up and she got balloons, just red and yellow balloons, and we don't know what the balloons is. Guess what? We still don't celebrate with Chanel, but we don't know what we're celebrating. But if she walk in and the balloon say happy birthday, we are happy birthday, Chanel. So we know it's her birthday. To me, as the market is just put out as another holiday, and it's not putting out the history being attached to it.
Whose responsibility?
If that makes any sense to anyone besides me.
Whose responsibility is it to do that? To do what you just said?
My grandmother always taught me first teacher starts at home, and so. It is, it would be my duty, your duty, Chanel's, Maya's, and those from our culture and our community. It would be our job first to teach, make sure that our youth know about it and that our community knows about it and upholds it. And it's again, it's not just another day off work.
Okay. Chanel, you wanted to make a point earlier. Sorry.
I did, but Maya had her hand up. I want her to go ahead first. Go ahead, Maya.
I wanted to say you also asked whose responsibility is it. I also feel like it's the school systems as well as the media, because every time that we click on the TV or we see ourselves on the media, it's always gun violence and missing and killing each other, and this person is dead. We could start by the media changing up their perspective about Black people and actually giving us more information than just killing and all of the criminal stuff that they claim we do. And I also feel like school systems as well, because when you think about, even for Black History Month, all you hear about is slavery. Like, our history goes way deeper than just slavery. So I feel like it starts at home, but it also starts with school systems and the media, because when every kid has a cell phone, so it's not hard to keep track of media. So I feel like if we get the message out on media and school system, then we get it out everywhere.
Great point. Thank you so much. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And I just also think it's important for us to understand when we think about celebrations and the power of the Black dollar. The Black community is responsible for billions and billions of dollars that we put into the American economy every year. The American economy would not be able to thrive the way that it has without the Black dollar. And so when we have a holiday that centers the Black experience and the trauma that Black people were forced to endure as we were enslaved in this country, it's more than just a celebration. This is a celebration unlike any other, because the fallacy of of this American exceptionalism is kind of laid bare when we celebrate Juneteenth, which is the emancipation of people who were forced to work in this country against their wills for free under absolutely inhumane conditions. And so, for instance, last year, Walmart was called on the carpet for a line of Juneteenth products that they were selling. Again, we know that Walmart has a long history of giving lots of money to causes that have not necessarily been advantageous for the Black community. They maintain a workforce that is also, in many places, people can also qualify for. They qualify for all kinds of social services programs because they're being paid wages that put them among the lowest wage workers in the country, while Walmart is a company that's doing very well. And all I'm saying is that we have to be careful about who is taking advantage of this holiday and monetizing it, but at the same time, the company that they are does not really speak to the spirit of the holiday. I saw a banner in Mississippi saying people should come to Mississippi because of the strong history of the civil rights movement that's there. And then on the poster, they had a white family. And so it's like you have Mississippi, the poorest state in the union, a very red Republican state that has all kinds of legislation that takes us back to Jim Crow. Right now, they have legislation that is very Jim Crow-esque. And then they're also using the civil rights movement as a marketing ploy to bring people into the state. And it's just cringy. And it's something that we all have to be very aware of. So during these Juneteenth months, we don't want people to be able to monetize our pain while at the same time using that money to pour into policies that are making it more difficult for us to experience the same kind of freedom that others are able to walk into as soon as they get here.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I think that we've had our little take on Juneteenth. Maybe this platform is for the two of you, Maya and Tawana. So pardon us for stealing a bit of your time in discussing the relevance of Juneteenth and what it means to African Americans. I think one of my passion is trying to sensitize the African community to understand what it means to all of us and how all this is all connected. And because as an African, I'm hearing you guys speak, but the reality is different for me because I didn't live it. And I know that it will be difficult to assimilate because I didn't live under that condition. We Africans, did not have to go through all of that. So when you say slavery, when you say freedom and emancipation, and it didn't get to Texas, and all of that is news, right? It's because we didn't leave it. But I think the importance, the most important thing is that once we're coming here in this country, it's the I think we have the moral obligation to learn these things, and the stories, and the things that you all went through and your ancestors went through, so that we can make those connections. It helps us as a people to move along and foster a better relationship. And so thank you all for sharing. I've done my research about Juneteenth, but hearing it makes a lot more impact, and I keep learning every day. That said, Maya, tell us, when did you start Back to Black Showcase? First of all, what does that mean?
Back to Black means we're going back to our roots, to our ancestry. So Back to Black is basically what that title means. It's just we're getting into our roots. What made me start this? Well, I want to go back to what you said before we do. I feel like it's all connected. Even if I feel like I didn't live anything either, but I still feel the trauma from what our ancestors faced as far as like slavery,
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that our ancestors were taken from Africa. So
Yes,
I feel
absolutely.
like all connected.
Absolutely, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that up. So
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
So
Somebody's.
yeah, I was like, what is that noise? But
no, you're right. I think, let me just give you a second to clarify. And
go ahead.
Thanks for bringing my attention to this. When I said that, I'm trying to say, as Africans, even our ancestors didn't have to live under physical bondage, right, in Africa, right? And so we, this generation, my fathers and our great grandfathers didn't tell us, any stories about they being enslaved. Yes, there was colonialism at some point in time. The dynamics is almost the same, but not the same. So all I'm saying is that, yes, as descendants of my African ancestry on the continent of Africa, we didn't have to literally go through the physical situation that your ancestors who came from Africa here had to endure. But yes, this is all, we're all family. And you're right, like you rightly said, our ancestors left, were brought here, and now we have you. We suffered another kind of slavery, which was mental, and some of us are here, and there's a challenge of, how do we make sense of all of this, and that is why we need to keep these conversations going, so we can begin to connect our relationships, because we're connected. We just haven't been told how we are connected, so we now have to do the learning ourselves. So thanks for bringing that point out. I really appreciate it. Go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
We are always on the we're definitely on the same page. Yes.
But Back to Black Showcase is like I said, is getting back to our roots. So what made me come up with this showcase was I always been more of like, I always had a big idea for dance. So I didn't want to I want to do a showcase, but I didn't want to just do a showcase. So with every showcase that I've done, I did my first one was during Black History Month, because I always want my showcases to be during something that celebrates being Black. Okay. So my first one was called Black Magic, and that was during February, Black History Month. And basically I make a script and I have all art forms perform based on that script. I don't really want to go into depth about the Black Magic Showcase because that's done. So I want to just go into the next one. So Back to Black Showcase is the same thing. So I'm telling a timeline of history from when we were kings and queens, which we still are, up until present events, which includes missing Black women, especially, and girls, and police brutality. And we're closing the ending off with Juneteenth. It's more into the story, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. So yeah, that's really what it is. So it's basically a timeline of events about Black history, and we do art forms to like connect with each topic.
Okay, great. How long have you lived in Chicago?
All my life.
Okay. West, south, just.
I'm from Eaglewood.
Okay. So how long have you, when did you start? I'm assuming you were a professional hip hop dancer or
Yeah,
something like that.
I'm a professional dancer. I'm trained in all forms of dance, ballet, jazz, tap.
Okay.
So I do some of everything, and I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. So I dance with Joffrey Ballet, Kumbelings, For Momentum, Studio One, just to name a few people.
Wow. And you said so you've been doing it for, you said, since 3 years. So in total,
Yeah,
how
I'm
many years?
23. I'm 23 now.
Wow. Okay. So have you performed on, I'm sure you've performed on all kinds of stages. Would you mention some of your, biggest shows, whether they were in the States or outside?
Okay, so I don't know if y'all know these people because I don't know, I guess I'm kind of young. So when I say these people like, who is that? But I did major in dance at Alabama State, so that's one form of platform where I performed. I danced with Polo G. He's like a artist, like a main
Okay.
artist. I
Okay.
danced with Hollywood, and it's a couple more, but that's just
Okay.
to name a few.
Wow. And so you have a dance company you work with?
No, I dance by myself.
Okay.
I'm my company. I'm my brand.
You are an independent contractor, like, kind of thing. So people will call you and then you go on do shows. And aside professional dancing, do you have a career or some other things that you're engaged in?
Mainly is dance, but I am an upcoming DJ, so that's something that I'm dabbling in right now.
Okay.
But mainly is dance.
Right. And so out of that, you created Back to Black Showcase.
Yep, and then I also have a production company, which I do like concepts that come to my head. I gather up dancers from all over Chicago, and I have us just put together, like, basically make my concept come to life by dancing. And so I do that. Yeah.
Okay, great. I know you have to leave. All right. So let us know. Just give us the heads up because I know you probably. I learned that you have an upcoming show or event. So let me know, Maya. But what I wanted to, Chanel, I'm sure you may have a question or two for her.
No, yeah, I think you were about to go in the same direction. I was just wondering, when the show was and how could people support it if they wanted to come out and see the production.
Yes. So I keep confusing both showcases because they close to the same. But Back to Black showcase is happening this Saturday at 12 p.m. We have our youngest dancer, which I believe is 6 years old. 6 years old. That's Story, and a few other dancers. We got dancers from all different ages, all the way up to 30, performing. So if you want to come out to celebrate and get some history, you could get tickets on Instagram or Eventbrite, but the link is in my Instagram, which is Back to Black Showcase _ and the ticket link is in our bio, and you could just click that link and purchase your ticket and come out on Saturday.
Nice. Awesome.
Oh, and one more thing, all proceeds are going towards the dancers, so the more tickets we sell, the more money can be in their pockets. So until we get a grant, that'll be lovely if y'all purchase a ticket.
Okay, that sounds good.
And you're a 501c?
Hmm.
Are you a 501c3 entity? Is your company registered?
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know what that is. No, I'm not yet. I do have an LLC for my brand, but I didn't get an LLC or EIN for the showcase yet.
Okay.
So I'm working on that.
You're working on that. Okay. No, sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. It's a non for
No,
profit.
it's okay. I like to get more knowledge every day. So what you just said, that's gonna make me go look it up when I get off.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. How many people do you have in your dance group or dance company?
In my showcase, I believe it's 20 dancers. And then I have poets and artists also performing. So I believe it's 5 artists performing. And I believe, so in total 25. And then I also have my friend who is an upcoming female DJ. Her name is DJ Madi. She's going to be DJing for the intermission. So in total, I guess is under 30.
Okay. Maya, how many more time do you have?
However long
You okay? Okay, great. Okay, just wanted to make sure because of the information that I had earlier. So that said, I will come back to you because I'm very intrigued in. I see a lot of energy around you, and I'm seeing more than just. I'm feeling more than just dance. You know, you seem to be someone who has a lot to give and a lot to say, and so we're trying to get that. And so, if you have time, then we'll come back to you with a few more questions. But Tawana, I know you go to church with some of my friends, so um, it's good seeing you today. Now, how about you tell us? I'm curious. I mean, because when I know you and my friends go to church, but I don't know if I didn't know you do what you do, which is being the founder of BB's Arc. It's outstanding. Now, earlier, which is the point I was trying to make, I planned on hosting you to talk about gun violence because I know you have a story in that space to tell. Now, you don't have to say, oh, I mean, you don't have to tell us about it or go even deep, but feel free if you want to give us a little glimpse of your story when it comes to gun violence, and then what gave birth. I mean, what motivated BB's arc.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to answer your question. I didn't get to hear it all because there was a plane riding by, so it kind of cut your sound out. I'm sorry about that, but I think you were pretty much asking me, like what spark babies are. Is that what you pretty
Yes,
much was asking,
what
or what?
motivated
I'm
you to
sorry.
start, yeah, what motivated you to start Baby's Arc? But before then, you and I had talked about your story in regards to gun violence, right? And I'm saying, feel free to share a little bit of it. You don't have to share, if you're not ready. But if you don't mind, we'd like to know a glimpse of your story with gun violence.
Yeah. So what sparked Bebe's art? Well, there had been a seed that was planted years ago,
Mm.
that I share with my son that I would like to have a foundation for boys. And at the time, I didn't have no high school education. I had dropped out of high school. I was working, I think, I don't know, probably McDonald's, Popeyes, or somewhere like that. And so I just never saw it happening. And so it was just out of my mind. But I always have been a mother that has been involved in whatever my children have been in. So I've always been like a pack mom at school, volunteering at the school, at the churches, and just always being involved with the youth, however I could be able to, connect with them and share information with them. And then in 2020, unfortunately, my son's life was claimed through gun violence. And so, because his life had been claimed through gun violence, I felt like, this was the time to go back to that conversation that I had with him when he was 8 years old about starting a foundation. And so, being that there are so many other children in the world, I couldn't just do it for boys. And so, as I was going through the motion and the ideas of what Bebe's Arc would be, at the time, it wasn't even called Bebe's Arc, it was called BJ's Kids. Right after that, my sister was killed the very next year. And her funeral, my son's funeral, was the same day. And so I had to think about children such as my niece and my nephew. And so I had changed it from gun violence to just children who lost their parents to a catastrophic tragedy. So basically, children who have lost their parents to the hands of another human being. And so that's how it was birthed, and that's how it was started. Looking at my grandson, he was 1. My son did not have a child that was, she had not even been born yet. The girlfriend was still pregnant. And so I just really thought about like the baby that the mom was carrying, and my grandson that was 1 that was sitting in my floor. And I just felt like God started putting some things in my heart about making sure my grandchildren knew who their father was and not just his name. And so that's where I got the ideas to create memorabilia. And the first thing I did was, instead of burying my son, I had my son cremated. so I can make lockets for my grandchildren. And so after that, I just felt like God was like, work had to be done because of when you lose somebody, that hurts, and your mental is all bothered and life is just all thrown off. And so I felt like God took all of that and wrapped it into one, and Bebe's Ark was born. And so at Bebe's Ark, we focus on children, again, who lost their parents to a catastrophic tragedy. We help create memorabilia for those children. And then that's ages 1 to 6. The real work to me comes in with the ages 7 to 17. And we focus on spiritual healing. So coping skills around trauma and grief. We focus on mental health because, like I said, your mental health has been thrown off. And a lot of times there are so many programs that have things and services for the parents, and the only things that they have for a parent that have lost their child to a tragedy. And then they have all these fun things for the kids. But really, the kids need some services too. And I saw that in my daughter when my son was killed. Mind you, she had already experienced 2 deaths prior to that. 2 years, 2 years, like 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 3 deaths in 6 years. They were all back to back. And so I started to see the effect in my daughter. And so I felt like that's what God was like, you have to focus on a child's mental health. And then me, just as a parent, I know the things that I get my children involved in and the things I try to have them involved in. So I thought about my sister, the things that she would have had her children involved in. And so that's where the life skills part came in. And so all from that, Bebe's Ark was born. And so, yeah, we're here.
Wow. Powerful story.
And I have to say, we always talk about the strength of Black women and stuff, but I just hear your heart, and I'm a mom too. I don't even want to ever know what it must feel like to have to dig that deep and find the strength to deal with your child being taken from you. And sons lay on our hearts different. I have a son. I have 2 daughters and a son. I love my baby girls. But my son, that boy, it's just different. And I just, I don't know how you're doing it, but I just feel like the work that you're doing is so needed. And it's so unfortunate that we have so many stories, where when it comes to loss, especially our young boys and our girls, but it affects the entire community. And so thank you for summoning the strength to do this work. It's definitely needed. And in doing the work, I hope that you also find healing for you and for your family.
The strength, the healing, all of that comes from God. And so I literally feel like I didn't know he was preparing me, before, but I feel like God was prepping me, before all of this happened. And I have never been one that's like with the jail system, like, I ain't never been one with it, because I don't know too many of them that come out that isn't a better criminal than he was when he went in there. Now, granted, we do have some that come out and their life is like all the way different, but I know in my community, I'm not for the jail system, and I've never been for the jail system. And so I've always been for the youth. And so when I lost my son, I actually had just had a conversation with God prior to my son getting killed, and telling God, like, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't do nothing for him. Like, I don't know why you asking me to be, be a part of your army, live out your, be an ambassador for you here on earth. I can't do it. And I'm gonna just live my life, and, I'm gonna just live. And then I felt like, as I had that conversation with him, the devil heard me and he said, "Ooh, y'all, we got it." And so I felt like he thought the death of my son would have trapped me in his world. But really what it did was made me kick the doors down. And now I'm like, me and this thing, we are at war for these children's soul. And so any and everything that I do, I just want people to see God. with my son death, it will not be in vain. I want people to see that God is a living God and that his word is true. Vengeance are mine. And thus saith the Lord. I ain't say that. That's what the Bible said, not me. And so I had to stick with that even after my son's death. I couldn't, because it would have been contrary to all of my beliefs, everything that I grew up with the faith that I did have, right? And so since my son's death, my faith has grown stronger. Since my son's death, I have been more involved in the work, in the Lord's work. Since my son's death, I have been doing all these things for the kingdom of God. I've been doing, and my life has changed. And so where the enemy thought he was going to take me out, he really just pushed me into God's arms even further. And so through that, I want people to see that when you lose someone, the true healing comes from God. That's it. The true healing comes from God. And you have to be able to share that with others. Because if not, it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a human being. I am a mama. And sometimes I have my days. I have my moments where I be like, if I saw the person, I would slap him to the ground. However, I can't live in that moment. I have to tell myself, no, come back over here. God said, vengeance is mine. Even though it hasn't happened today, I have to trust in the Lord that vengeance is his and that justice is on his side. And so if justice is on his side and I am his child and he has called me to do something and I am obedient to his will, God's word has never failed. And I'll leave it right there.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your strength through adversity. And of course, we render our sincere condolences for your loss. And we always standing here supporting each other and doing this. So thank you once again for sharing and giving hope, because what you've just shared has strengthened a lot of people. And we thank God for your life and what you're doing. So really, really appreciate it. You're watching the Progressive Mind Show. We're live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can like the page once you come on, share with friends so we can promote those beautiful queens for the work they're doing in the community. We have Tawana Watts. She's the founder and executive director for Bebe's Arc. For some reason, I was calling it BB's Arc. So thanks for.
No, it's Bebe's. If you ever saw the movie, Bebe's Kids, that's where it came from.
Okay, great. And Maya Unique is the founder and creative director of Back to Black Showcase. Is it safe to call it a dance company? No. Okay, what is it?
I say no because it's not. Oh, my battery.
No, we can hear you. Okay. Oh, the battery.
Yeah, my battery. I'm probably gonna have to head out. I'm sorry, y'all, but it's not a dance company because we feature all art forms. I really don't know what to call it. I think it's just a showcase where I just gather dancers. Okay. So yeah.
Well, we'll give it. I know you're proud and you've done a lot of work. So we're not just gonna call it a dance or a showcase. This is a movement. This is something you've birthed that is going to live on for generations. This is a safe haven. It's a safe space that people will come and showcase their talents. Potentials will be birthed here. People will be. It's a springboard because who knows the next dance champion or the next artist or the next Hollywood star who's going to come off from your platform. So it's not just something. And I know you're just being humble about it, but you took a decision to follow your heart, because a lot of people have your talents, but they have to veer and go to school, or stay in corporate or do something else. But you have not been afraid of it. You have you've stayed the course. You're living your purpose. So beautiful. That at your age you're living your purpose and making impacts at the same time. So we are very happy and excited for you. Tell us where the event is happening again, social media, all the nine. And I know your battery is about to go off. So let's get more of that information before that happens.
I'm sorry about my battery about to die. I'm in my cousin's car. But the showcase is happening at the John Carruthers Center, which is full of history as well. It's the address is 700 East Oakwood Boulevard. Again, you can purchase tickets on Eventbrite at Back to Black Showcase. The link is also in our bio on Instagram at Back to Black Showcase _. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Maya MAYA __unique. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And so when people come, what should they be looking out for? What are people going to get when they come to Back to Black Showcase?
Okay. You just gonna get some dope performers that you don't want to miss. I got the best dancers, I got the best artists, I got an African drummer. It don't get no better than that. So you gotta just come and see. I can't really spill the beans too much, but if you come,
but you gotta give us some names. Can you drop some names?
I could drop some names, but y'all probably don't. Well, y'all gonna know them, so it don't even matter.
She's just assuming that we don't know anybody.
I'm gonna be in a
but guess
really
what?
Wrong.
Guess what? Maybe some of your friends are watching who may know these people, right? And who knows? Yeah, perhaps I know them too. Chanel knows some of them.
So me, I'm performing. That's definitely a star. So y'all need to get at me. Story. We got Story performer. We got my little cousin Lanaya. We got Gabby. We got Zori. These are the youth. They're from 6 to 8.
Okay.
And then for the adults, we got a artist named C Baby, who's a rapper. We got K Soul. We got Huey Shakur performing. We got Spice. We got Bella Rose, Justice. Who else? It's a lot more people. So many names. Ciara. We got Court. We got Nadia. Just a whole bunch of dope people. So
you mean the real Sierra?
No, Ciara. I mean, if Sierra, if you watching this and you need a dancer, let me know. I've been watching you since 1 2 Steps. So get at me.
Wait, say that again.
I said, Sierra, if you watching this and you need another dancer for whatever, I've been watching you since 1 2 Steps. So get at me. You and Missy.
Okay. Right. Well, who knows? This is the next. She's probably the next Sierra, or even bigger than that. So it's a privilege to have you. I wish we had one of your videos, one of your performances. To showcase with our audience, but we'll probably get it later and put it on the Progressive Minds Instagram pages and stuff.
Oh, and one more thing before I go. Thank y'all again for having me. And also, if you do want to see our Black Magic Showcase, the YouTube link is full of all of our performances from that showcase. So if you want to watch it, it's 4K quality. And yeah, so.
Okay. So whilst you're here and talking about performances, June 24th, which is next week, Saturday, we're bringing a king from Ghana to crown Congressman Daniel Davis. Basically, the theme is restoring the royalty. So we're restoring, like you said, your kings and queens that were brought here. And so we're bringing our kings to come and affirm our kings and queens that were brought here to the Americas through slavery. And so so that's going to be major. He was here last year to crown Jesse Jackson. He's coming again this year. So I want to play the clip real quick so you all can have an idea of what is going to take place this year. I think we have here. And so if you're watching, this is the Progressive Mind Show, and June 24th, the exchange ceremony is coming off live.
African giant Burna Boy, and I want to ask you.
Okay, this is not Burna Boy. This is not Burna Boy time. We will do this. Here is the video. Sorry about that. Here, I think this is one.
And back here at home, a special honor today for Jesse Jackson. A king from southern Ghana crowned Jackson an African chief during a ceremony at the Rainbow Push Coalition. A longtime civil rights leader and former special envoy to Africa, the Reverend was recognized for his commitment to the Black community. Tonight's ceremony also served as a cultural celebration, complete with traditional African dance performances, and lots of music as well.
I didn't see no.
That was
Maya,
Yeah, I
what's the
saw
question?
it. That was really nice. I don't, Maya, you might not have been able to see it on your phone. I'm not sure. I saw it and I'm on the computer. Maybe that was a difference. Tawana, did you see it? Okay.
Tawana will be there, babe.
Yeah, and you know what, Senna? Big ups to you for everything that you're doing. What you're doing with the exchange ceremony, it requires a lot of time, dedication, work. I know you do it, so good job to you.
No, thank you. Maya, it's unfortunate that
when are you gonna get crowned yourself?
I'll be crowned when God's appointed time comes.
Okay.
I like that.
And
prayerfully, my appointed time will be next year.
And I think the most important thing is feeling the kingship and the queenship in you. So once you know you are carrying it, it's enough satisfaction. It's enough for you to live every day understanding your worth, which affects how you deal with people, how you treat people, and how you walk your life, how you live your life in this world, making it better, because kings and queens provide, they protect the royalty. So you just have to understand that it's in your blood. And as Africans, our bloodline is royalty. That's how we lived, and that's how we will always live. And so June 24th at the Karen Center for the Arts. If you want more information, check out our websites, theexchangeceremony.com, our social media pages, The Exchange Ceremony on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Facebook and IG, Instagram. Instagram, Facebook, and our website. There's more information. Actually, if you go on Eventbrite, there are tickets out there. You can get to learn more and get your ticket for the exchange. So the king is coming from Ghana. Congressman Danny Davis is there. We have a lot of dignitaries. We have some queens coming from other countries. This is going to be epic. It's historic. The first time this movement is being carried out in the United States, literally. It's the first time you hear kings coming from Africa to restore the royalty. And this is not the end. This is our third annual. We're going to keep doing this as long as God gives us the ability to do it. So thank you all for bearing with us. Now, Tawana, is about 4 minutes to end the program. Again, tell us when your event is happening, how people can get tickets, and how you want the community to support you. Go ahead.
All right. This week, Thursday, June 15th, June 15th, from 12 to 5 p.m. 12 from 8. We're having a block club resource, the first block club resource event in the city of Chicago on the west side. That is going to be, again, on the west side of Chicago, the 200 block of Livingston. It is a block club event that has been turned into a resource event, as well as Friday, June 16th, there will be another block club resource event on the 1500 block of Kaminsky. And if you would like to join me in supporting this, you can reach me on Facebook at Bebe's Art. You can reach me by, I think, Instagram, Bebe's Art. All of the handles, all the social media handles is Bebe's Art. TikTok is Bebe's Art 2223, and you can reach me there. And the events are there. And yes, I'm really excited about these events because, first of all, let me explain these events to you. These events were not planned events at all. This was not a planned event. It started with me asking someone in the neighborhood if I could use the lot, because I wanted to do something. I wanted to create the atmosphere for the kids on the block, for my children and the kids on the block, to be able to play safely without having to worry about any nonsense on the block or any violence or anything like that. And what motivated me was this song that plays on YouTube by this family called Jewel TV, and they have a song called Outside. And as I sat and listened to that song, it talked about going to the park, jumping ropes, skating. It just talked about all the things that I did when I was a kid during the summer. I remember being able to stay out to the street lights, came on and whatnot. And these children this day, unfortunately, they don't get to experience that. The majority of them are spending their summer days in their living rooms, in their bedrooms. And unfortunately, some of them have even lost their lives being at home in the living room. And so I just wanted to create that safe space and peaceful, space for the community. Well, let me say, yeah, for the community. And I didn't want to, being that it started out with me want to do it in a lot. And as I thought about doing it in a lot, I thought about the kids. I thought about the needs of the kids. I thought about the needs of the community. I thought about the network of people that I am tied to. And I took all of that and I merged it all together. And so for the people that live on these blocks where these events will take place, there will be a Juneteenth celebration. It's like the Juneteenth, this will be their Juneteenth celebration. So it will be resources out there. We have Humana that will be out there. We have Meridian that will be there. We have Rush that will be there. We have someone, we have Bond from Locked In that will be out there doing hair. We have Amber with Anointed Hands who will be out there doing hair. We have Sherrod that will be out there cutting hair. And so a lot of people have joined in on this. And I also took this time to use it as my first initiative with Bebe's Arc to let the community and the public know that this organization is here and we are looking to service those within our communities. And so I'm just really excited about it. Again, it started out as a mustard seed thought to create some safe place for my children and the kids on the block to play. And then from there, God birthed this whole other project that it just kept growing. And so I'm really excited. I thank God for all the support that has came through, because I really didn't think that so I just didn't see it being this this big. It started out supposed to have been something on the block, but it has been truly blessed. And so Lime Scooter will be out there where the kids can ride the scooters for free. There will be food out there. And so what really made me, when I thought about the needs of the kids, the people in the community, I thought about the kids need back to school physicals, they need dental, they need eye screening. Unfortunately, guys, I was not able to land the dental. I really did work hard to get dental out there, but I wasn't able to do so. But like I said, we have Rush that will be out there that will be doing some type of pre-screening. We have Plano Vision that will be out there that will be doing eye screening. And so the resources that the kids will possibly need to get back in school will be there. So parents don't have to worry about setting a doctor's appointment. If they bring their medical card and their ID, they can get their baby eye screening right here at these at the Block Club event. And let's see what else I was about to say. Then I thought about the resources of the parents, because not all of the parents have the means to go out to these agencies and get the service. But more importantly, a lot of people don't even know about the things that are in their communities. More importantly, we got a lot of churches in the community that's not being involved. And so I want this is also a challenge for those in the community to come out of their walls and get involved, not on the corner where at the stoplight you can bump your horn, but now come in the hood where the blocks at, where the real trouble at, where the real heartache is. That's where the help is needed at. And so God is raising up a different army, and I'm part of that army. And so Bebe's Arc First Initiative Block Club Resource Event celebration for Juneteenth and Father's Day will be going down on the west side of Chicago, June 15th. The hours for the vendors to be out there is from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then after that, it'll be free time for those that live on the block to enjoy themselves, as well as for June 16th, it will be the same thing. And so I'm still working on a few things, but I think it's going to be an amazing event. And so for future events, if anyone would ever like to support me, please, again, check out the Facebook page, check out the Instagram page, and I always look for support. And I'm just very thankful and blessed to even be doing this and bringing this to the blocks in my community. I don't like being one of those ones that sit on the porch and talk about like what needs to be done and not take action. And so I'm an action taker, and this is what happened.
Thank you so much for sharing, Tawana. We are privileged to have you on the show to share your story, your work, and your impacts. We really, really appreciate it. And Chanel, you have any closing remarks as we bring the show to an end this evening?
No, I just appreciate it. And, Tawana, like Senna said, your dedication, your work, your story, it means so much. Thanks for sharing it with us. Yeah, it's been great. I'm looking forward to everything that's going to be coming up this Juneteenth and everything that you are adding to this holiday.
Awesome. And would like to take the opportunity from the Progressive Mind Show to our co-host Chanel. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank God for your recovery. And we look forward to seeing you coming back to do what you love and do it more. And so we are hoping that Tawana, we can come and support what you're doing as you work for the community. Okay, so that said, today's episode of the Progressive Mind Show on Juneteenth, we would like to bring it to a close. It's 4 minutes past 7 p.m. and we are glad that we were able to come your way again. Remember, you can always watch this show on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. As you are there, remember to like the page, turn on the notification, and share it with friends, family, network to be part of the community building agenda. Do not forget that next week, Saturday, we are converging. The diaspora community will be converging at the Kiran Center for the Arts on the west side of Chicago. We're going to be crowning Congressman Daniel Davis as an honorary diaspora king. Also, another person we're going to be crowning as an honorary diaspora king is Pastor Corey Brooks of New Beginnings Church. Now, this year we're going to do two queens. The first one will be Mrs. Valerie Daniels Carter, if I'm not mistaken. The first name, I think, is Valerie Daniels Carter. She is the co-owner of Milwaukee Bucks, among other things. For such great feats she has been able to chalk for herself and her society, we are privileged to be honoring this great woman, this great queen. I also want to inform our audience that she has done extensive work in Africa, notably in Kenya. And for these people, for individuals like this, they deserve our honor. And so we are privileged to be coronating them live next week, Saturday, June 24th. Now, there are other 4 people that we are going to honor and bestow upon royalty. If you have not seen how Africans, specifically the Ewe people, the Anglo Kingdom from the Volta region, bestow royalty on their love or their citizens or their people, you want to come to June 24th exchange ceremony. You witness live first the coronation of kings and queens and the royalty process, the royalty honor that we're going to do for the other individuals that we're going to be awarding. And so remember that the exchange ceremony is about bringing the African diaspora together through our culture. So there's going to be dance performances representing the 4 communities that make up the African diaspora. The African community, African Americans, will be represented by South Shore Drill Team. Then you would have the African community being represented by Muntu Dance, the Muntu Dance Theater. They're going to be there. And then you have the Latino dance company called KR Dance Company will be representing the Latino community. And then Latrice Stacy with Jukebox Team. Team Jukebox will be bringing her crew to represent the Caribbean community. So it's going to be a very beautiful celebration of people of the African heritage through dance and fashion. There's going to be also a fashion show. We're going to have a fashion show in there. And then after all of that, we would put a cherry on the cake, which will be the coronation of our kings and queens and royals. You will not regret it. You will have a time of your life. Again, this is history being made. So be part of it. Come, let's celebrate our people and our culture together. June 24th at the Caribbean Center for the Arts. If you want more information, go on the website, theexchangeceremony.com. Social media is Instagram. On Instagram and Facebook is The Exchange Ceremony. The Exchange Ceremony. Our host is Malik Youssef, a 5-time Grammy Awards, 7-time. I'm forgetting some of his accolades, but Malik Youssef is going to be our host, and Ugochi will be our co-host. So it's an evening. It's an evening of splendor, and so you want to be part of that. The Friday before the 24th, we're going to have a panel discussion at Rainbow Push. This panel discussion will consist of Black people's history, our culture, and mental health. All right. On that panel, we have Dr. Kanayo Odeloga, and he's a medical doctor, but this man is a wealth of African history. Not just African, but African and African-American history. You want to come and witness. And then we have Pilar Udain. Pilar is going to be on the panel. We have Youssef Aziel from the Nation of Islam. If I'm getting that correct, Nation of Islam. He is coming. And then on that bill is also Shaka Barak. Okay, so it's a platter of very seasoned and informed individuals within the diaspora who are going to be on the panel. I'm going to host it, and we are inviting you all to come and learn. Let's come and learn and understand how we are connected as a people and how our history is connected, and also how has our past affected our mental health. Very, very crucial. So the Friday will be at Rainbow Push, 5:30 Rainbow Push. Then after that, we will converge at the Caribbean Center on the west side to celebrate, and which is going to start at 4 p.m. Food and drinks will be served at 4 p.m. 6 o'clock sharp, we will begin the ceremony. We had some challenges last year, but we've put in all the measures to make sure that we are overcoming some of our challenges. So with your help, this event will be another historic one. Thank you so much for being on the show. Trend Africa says good show. Antoine Brown says love the show. Thank you so much, Antoine, for being part of the conversation, and for everyone who may have joined that we were not able to give a shout out to or recognize. Chanel, our co-host, thank you, and then to our guest Tawana Watts, thank you for coming on the show. Maya, what's the last name of Maya? Maya Unique. Thank you for coming on the show. We will see you next week Tuesday for another wonderful edition. My name is Sana, aka Alinko, and remember, to whom much is given, much is required. Have a good night. Bye-bye.